Welcome to WROL Broadcast. I am Hate Mail. With me today I have Loot,
Hey
Kage,
guys.
Ogre Barbarian, and it's a
Oh,
Christmas Miracle, Doombox.
Doombox is
oh.
here? That's crazy.
So we get to hear about how bad Etrigan and Power Girl is today.
Here for the controversy.
So we're going to do 2019 year in review. And while 2019 isn't completely over, and we suspect we'll get a couple of reworks before the end of the year, we're going to go ahead and talk through
But
everybody
those aren't
that's been.
officially part of the years.
Yeah, they're technically January, so I'm going to count them in January. So what we're going to do is just kind of talk through each month. Thanks to M4, we have a graphic that tells us all the characters, the reworks. So kind of want to just review. Seems like it's funny because I forgot so many of these characters were this year, and some characters that I didn't like at the beginning have become quite good, and some were quite good and still are. So it kind of be interesting to see who was what and everything that happened this year. So without further ado, we'll start in January. January, the freebie character was Arsenal. The paywall was Wally West. The rework was Castaway Green Arrow. And the other rework was Assault Warsuit Lex. So out of that group, 3 of those 4, I'd say, are pretty commonly used near meta level characters, because Wally West has really come on in the last couple months, especially in Siege. Kage, what are your thoughts on January's characters and their lasting power?
Lex stuck around for a while, which is because he made a rework, and I think he was obviously he was one of the first reworks of the year, but it was really good. But Castaway, I think, stole the show, and obviously S tier level character, more plug and plays, fast, and people were hating on Arsenal and Wally West at first. They're like, dude, rework these guys right now. So it's funny. It's funny because I always liked Wally West, but Doombox, he was the true Wally West champion. So let him talk on that.
Doom, I know you played for these characters and you really, really like one of these.
Actually, I really like Warsuit Lex. I don't care much for Wally West, except for as a character in the comics, of course. I don't know. For me, it feels like Assault Warsuit stole the show, because Castaway was already a really good character. He just became a even more good character. But Lex got dragged from the bottom all the way up to godhood, just about. So, honestly, I think that they knocked this one out of the park. Like, they took some characters, one of which was okay, but not great at the time, the other one which was terrible, and made them both borderline meta-defining. I can't complain.
What about Arsenal or Wally West? Any opinions on either one of those, Doom?
Arsenal, I liked what they were going for, but just, I don't know, it feels disappointing. Wally West, though, he's, I'm a fan. He goes well in Doom Patrol. In fact, he basically made Doom Patrol a thing, so,
Before
can't complain.
it is now what it is now, it evolved into now, actually.
Yeah. And Ogre, any opinions on January? Were you playing in January?
Yeah, I was still playing in January. Because I have my Arsenal L4. I just didn't get any Wally. So it was probably right around the decline.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry, I just plugged my headphones in, so I didn't remember. But no, Arsenal, I think he's playing fine and viable if you want to use him. Like, he needs a little bit of build around, but I think he's perfectly playable. Wally, still one of the few characters I don't have, which I'm very sad about because he's a Titan, and I, love my Titans. As far as Castaway, I have to agree with Doom. I think Castaway and Lex, the two that, started off real strong. Castaway was already good. He just got even better. And Lex, because of the changes that they made, he stole the show in that instance because he just went from 0 to hero overnight.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Loot, I know Castaway is like one of your favorite characters in game, if not your favorite character.
Castaway is my favorite character in the game. They made him better. Like, he was already good, but they made him more of like a sure bet. So you could count on, when he throws his AoE or when he does his kick, he's going to get those certain invisibility, or he's got that now buff immunity. So they made him even better than he was. But I have to agree, AW Lex really went from trash to pretty good. I mean, he's amazing. The weird thing is I don't really use him very much right now, but it doesn't take away from the fact that he's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. He's a fun character. I respect the heck out of him. And
I don't use him a lot right now,
well,
but
he's slowed down a
in
little bit with Booster
totality,
Gold.
he's great.
Booster Gold kind of does what I use Lex for, so I use Booster Gold over him more often, but he's still really good character.
Right. No, I get that.
All right.
And then Wally, I still really don't like Wally. And the only reason why I'm using him in Siege is because I have to.
Yeah.
I really haven't used him this Siege.
It's like I need to. Because in this particular Siege, speed matters. And Wally's buff matters. So I'm using him. I still really don't like him, but I'm using him. And Arsenal to me is just like a C tier character. He's all right.
Yeah, I came around to him on that one Siege that he was in.
Yeah, he was good in that. He was actually good in that Siege. But outside of that, I don't want to use him at all.
Yeah, he's kind of meh.
Well, you got to continue you got to win this this Siege because we can't let Kage the Sandbagger win. So
Man, I'm trying so hard. Before I run any match, I'm playing it out basically with pen and paper to see who's going to go, what's going to happen, so that I guarantee don't lose a tune.
I know Kage's, but I got to respect the heck out of Kage for even if he doesn't
Kage, I don't even know how you're keeping up. Honestly, with that team of yours, I murder your team on when you're in my log. I barely have to do anything to kill them.
Yeah, I know.
Which is insane.
Yeah, think of those 300 Spartans, versus that 10,000 million people army. I'll fight you.
Well, Kage is an inspiration for all the.
You're doing a really good job. I can tell you that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's gonna come down to the last couple hours for both of us, honestly.
Unless Lucas sneaks up, can't let a non-owl win.
Yeah, Lucas, we just gotta keep an eye on.
Yeah. All right, moving on to February. We had another pretty solid month. We had Black Lightning was released as the freebie character. The paywall was Batwoman, who is still regularly used and pretty darn good character. The reworks were Katana, who had a very good rework, and then Livewire, who I think is still pretty trashy character. Even
I don't think.
Which is
Go
sad.
ahead.
I was experimenting with some Livewire teams under Lex because you figure all the intellect ups. She still is not worth using, in my opinion. She just does not do anything. She takes way too much to ramp. She does hardly any damage. Trashier. I was gonna vote out.
They just reset her kit, huh?
But,
Most of her draw is the evasion up.
yeah,
That's why people like her. And she does a billion random attacks.
Yeah, but she doesn't do any damage.
I didn't say she was good. I just said this is why people like her.
Yeah.
No,
I want to like her. She's one of the characters I want to like. But I can't remember.
Well, I mean, if you're a fan of her, then yeah, she's, evasion ups, and I get to attack 3 times, but I don't know where they're going. I'm wild. That's why people like her, and let's be honest, it's not exactly a great way to play.
Well, if she did a ton of damage, it'd be worth it, but she doesn't. I mean, she
Right,
doesn't
but that's the thing.
kill
When you have a
reds.
character like that, you can't predict what they're doing, so it doesn't matter if they do a ton of damage. If you had a character that did the same level of damage, but consistently was firing extra shots or, Castaway Green Arrow level, then sure, it doesn't matter, because he doesn't do a ton of damage,
Yeah,
and he
you're
fires
right.
a billion extra shots.
Castaway Grenero does way more damage than Livewire. Way more.
Yeah. Castaway's kind of beefy in the damage department. Though, honestly...
My Castaway doesn't, because I run super low power, but...
I mean, I don't
Not
know.
really the point, I
Livewire's
guess.
not that bad on my new and improved Doom Patrol team, but that's just because damage doesn't matter when you just take infinite turns. So it's, they'll die eventually, even if I'm only doing 1k damage to Donna Troy. It's, after 32 of them, it'll kill anybody.
Yeah. She was a disappointment to me for the reworks, but the rest of the group, I think, are pretty solid.
Like, yeah, you can't deny Batwoman is still around. Like,
She's
She's
great.
lethal.
Katana looks, she looks good. I don't know if I'd ever
She
use her. But
she's she's good, but you're never really gonna want to use her.
I don't know. I use her every now and again still. She's a solid character. She's not a game changer in any way, but she does enough. She does a lot of good things, and she's just a solid all the way around character. She's not.
Well, one of the teams I really like running with her, like Swamp Thing and Riddler, um, and maybe +1. That's about it. But Batwoman, I think solid. I use her regularly. Took her to L5. Really like the kit. And then Black Lightning, I think he's a fun character. I don't know why people are sleeping on him.
A lot of people really like him. I've never really. I don't know. I mean, I don't dislike him. I think he's a solid character, but for some reason he just doesn't seem to. I don't know. He's a character that just doesn't seem to fit into any of the teams I really run, and I just never really saw what everybody else sees in him. So a
he
lot of
does a lot of weird things.
yeah.
Or he does them in weird ways, I should say. They're all things that you want a character to do, but he does them differently than you would expect them to be done, I guess.
Well, I mean, if you touch him, he stuns you, and he keeps your characters alive. That's why you gotta kill him first. Because he can just passively heal everyone up.
I always can save him for last when I'm fighting him.
I've never really had a problem with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the
The only issue
original.
that I have with him is that he's super fast.
He was the original energy healer, which now that Lex is the ultimate energy healer.
He wasn't the original. He was just
Let's just take
Healer.
that a step further. Lex is the best healer in the game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
remotely click.
doesn't matter what color he is. He's
Yeah.
just a ridiculous
Oh.
healer.
We'll get to Lex. But, yeah, Black Lightning now, he's kind of meh.
I mean, he's not bad. He's not a bad character. He's just not anything to get super
he's
excited.
certainly viable if you want to use him.
Yeah.
He's the epitome of the
He's usable.
character that during a match I'll be like, oh, that's surprising, and then it just doesn't matter in the end. Like he can do stuff, but it's not impactful enough to where I'm like, oh no, it's Black Lightning. I'm like, oh, well, that was an interesting thing that he just did there. Guess I better shoot him for 50k damage off of my Lex basic because that's always a good time.
Yeah, that actually, you hit the nail on the head, man.
Yeah.
Something happens, you're like, whoa. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, the stuns are... I kind of wish it was like a 100% chance to stun, because that would make him a little more...
He'd be broken at that
I
point.
think
I don't
he'd be pretty
If
busted.
he's hit, I don't know.
Oh look, I AoE'd. Let me get stunned for a turn.
Maybe...
He'd be
Yeah,
100%
I don't know.
busted.
Yeah, I don't know if just AoE stun.
No, like, can you imagine it? Poison Ivy puts crit immunity and a bunch of stamina ups on him, and then you're just sitting there waiting to die. It's
Yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe that would be a bit broken.
Yeah, this doesn't sound fun.
Moving on to March, which isn't looking at it's not as good of a month. Mr. Freeze was the freebie, not a bad character. Ra's al Ghul, worst character in the game, arguably, was the paywall. Penguin was reworked. Now he got a very good rework. And then Scarecrow was reworked. He's okay. The only one out of that group that really
I
stands out
think
to me is Penguin.
Scarecrow's problem is that people just didn't like him to begin with. I think
Who,
his
Penguin?
rework actually looks really good.
I
Ooh,
love
Penguin?
Scarecrow.
Oh, Scarecrow? He's
Oh,
a pain in the...
He really is. He's a pain until, I mean, if you don't plan for him, he's a major pain. But there's just so many answers to evasion. I think the problem was that Scarecrow, if Scarecrow had come earlier, he would have been a fantastic character. But he came really late into the Batgirl meta, and people were just kind of over evasion at this point. And people
Yeah.
figured out ways to deal
Well,
with
he
it.
was originally supposed to be an alternative to Batgirl, and the problem was no.
Batgirl was just too strong.
And then when Hal Jordan got reworked, he really became not as viable because
It doesn't even matter anymore.
couldn't-
Yeah.
you couldn't do the evasion downs anymore. But you know what? He might actually. It's funny now that I'm thinking about it. I'm working on different Lex counter comps, ones that'll work on auto and defense really well, and Scarecrow might not be a bad option since you're not running a Howl lead or a Steppenwolf lead, so
Mm-hmm.
that would be interesting.
I think Scarecrow is viable against Lex.
Yeah, definitely could be.
Those hit chance downs really add up.
Penguin was a great
Well,
rework.
yeah, I
Penguin's
think
awesome.
I think Scarecrow was good. Penguin was really good because they finally gave him that taunt that he kind of needed, and I think a lot of the characters really appreciate that. That was really good. Mr. Freeze, I think, honestly, I really like his whole kit, but I'm a real big fan of off-turn attacks and meter control, so
I mean, it's
I
a
was
good
finally
kit.
happy to... What's that?
It's a good kit, but the way he deals with enraged characters is weird.
Well, I think
Because
maybe next
No,
month we might see
him a
some.
place in all the characters. It gives him a place. It gives him, let's run him with Ares, Joker, Clan Prince of Crime, Siren, any of the characters who can enrage. Yellow Lantern Sinestro, almost looks halfway decent with that. But
I mean, I'm not
I
going to
think the
deny
judge
that.
of it'll be next month.
Yeah,
If
when
he's not
yeah,
viable
no,
in
I understand, and
January,
I'm
then
saying
he's
as soon
terrible.
as we have a viable set of enraged characters, Mr. Freeze might be really good.
yeah, I agree.
January will
So
be his true test, probably,
yeah, and
based
that's
on what that write-up was. What they say?
even
That one of them
even if those characters
enrages
aren't
their
good, though.
enemies.
Honestly, I think he's going to be fantastic, personally. I mean, so think about it, right? And mind you, this is in the context of, well, I'm fighting a Lex team probably, not Hal Jordan. He actually has some surprisingly good tools. You can mix them together with, God forbid I say it, Captain Cold and the such, and just completely lock down a team with meter control and, Castaway, and then just put Lex on the front side for the free buffs and free healing. And then he's just like, no, you're never going to move. And if you're enraged, God help you. Or, people already know who's being reworked. Yeah, new Sinestro, put him in there with it. Oh, that's some good stuff. That's a
Yeah,
spicy meatball.
I think the new Sinestro will be the ultimate test to see how good he can be. But I agree with Doom. I think he could potentially be a very good character because he's solid. I do wish he had a turn zero taunt because I think they missed the boat on that. Giving him
Yeah. Now,
Well, it would
one,
be fine if his taunt didn't also give him a billion health.
he doesn't get that much health. Wonder Girl can still one shot him. It's not a problem.
yeah.
Well, Wonder Girl can one-shot everything.
Well, but I mean,
It's
in
not an
most strong
argument.
blues,
When she does 5 times the maximum amount of health of anybody, that's not an argument.
well, especially because he's going to be enraged. So he's, I mean,
Again, that's not an
but
argument.
if you're worried, I mean, most blues can take him out fairly easily. He doesn't have, damage or death immunity, so I don't
Oh,
think it'd be broken at all.
If he could stack his health gain, properly, like Doomsday style, I think he'd be way better. Just every single time he taunts, gain another 25% of your max health as a additional chunk of health. Oh yeah, put that on Doom Patrol, and he's just going to be sitting around with a couple million health after turn 8 or something. I'm like, oh yeah, well that's the good stuff. But nope, one time 25%, and once the taunt wears off, it falls off too. It's a shame.
Yeah,
wait,
but
what?
that's
It
why he's
falls off
not broken.
too? It says indefinitely.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, the health shouldn't fall off.
I tested it. It falls
Really?
off.
Well, maybe that's a bug.
No.
We need to test that.
I think that's a bug. It's either a bug or the writing's wrong, because the way that Ogre just said it is the way it's written.
I know. That's why I was like, oh crap. But anyways, let's not worry about Dr. Freeze. We'll see how he does next month.
Yeah, we'll see how he does next month, but I do want to look into that health because if that is a bug, he might suddenly be a lot
It
better.
sounds like a bug.
Now, Ra's al Ghul, I thought Ravager would make him viable, but I have no idea what the heck they were going for in that kit. I looked at the kit and I was like, I'm passing.
He's horrible. I mean, absolutely
He's
horrible.
terrible.
Yeah.
I don't even think Doom likes him, and that's tough.
I mean, what kind of idiot would buy into that Ra's al Ghul and then bring him all the way up? Seriously, you have to be some kind of serious fool to actually invest in that character.
You'd be a
Is he
fool to
is he
actually
your
rebirth this
rebirth?
guy. Yeah, there's a few people with rebirth Ross out there. I don't understand what the heck they're doing.
They probably did that because they just like Ra's al Ghul as a character, not the actual
He
in-game
is a super
Ra's al
cool.
Ghul.
Well, I
He
really
is a
like
super
Red the
cool.
Ghoul as a character, but I do need a slow gear, so I'm kind of happy that he's terrible.
Yeah, thank God he sucked, right?
Bless you.
Anyway, enough trash talk for the poor man. Let's move
All
along.
right, moving on. Let's move into April. Very good month in April. We had new character freebie Freddy Shazam, Shazam Jr., whatever you want to call him, who I really like. Most people didn't, but some seem to come around on him. Mary Shazam was the paywall, who's seen new life under Lex. And then we had the reworks of regular Shazam, who was very good. Another character. I wish he had a turn zero taunt, so I have an alternative to Donna Troy. And then the star of the month was Black Adam rework, who
Black Adam just
Black Adam.
blew everything
Black
out the
Adam.
water.
Black Adam's ridiculously good.
he's slowed down a little bit, but he's still a great character. And still my favorite go-to character for PvE farming.
Me too. Hell, you could just run him by himself. He doesn't even need a teammate.
Yeah.
It's honestly true. With Flash having his awareness ignoring thing, you could just sit him down on the last node of Legendary with Jet's Flash and Jet's Black Adam, and then just leave it on auto, and it finishes itself in under a minute. Easy.
Yeah, if I needed legendary essence, I would so run that. But
I run Black Adam with Reverse Flash, and I think I can do the last node in, I don't know, 18 seconds.
oh, I need to test it now with my rebirth flash. I want to see how fast he could do it.
I think I'm doing 18-second runs.
Mine's probably somewhere around there. I know Flash ignores the thing, the Black Adam just obliterates everything else. So.
Yep.
And then Mary's, I always liked Mary's kit. She was kind of not as good, but under Lex, she's really good. She's like one of the best characters under Lex, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Shazam Jr., I still haven't been able to like find a great team for him. I think he's a solid character, but he's not. I mean, he's nothing to get excited over. But he's one of those characters. I think if they rework eventually, he could be amazing.
I can't
I'm
find a comp
excited
that he's
over it.
good in.
I mean, you know, the prospect of him is exciting because we finally have a character with affinity-specific effects. Like, the fact that that's even possible is pretty revolutionary on its own, you know?
Yeah, I just wish they'd play into that a little more.
Yeah. If only.
I've always liked Mary. Like, I ran it with Castaway because they both have similar passives. Castaway's passive being like your teammate has like a 50% chance to put 10% meter down, and Mary's passive is basically the same thing. So it's just meter down all day, you know?
Yeah.
I think Black Adam's overhyped. I think if you're Rebirth 5ing him, you're kind of a fool.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, you can still AoE down green teams at RB5.
Oh, yeah, he'll mow teams down. Like, I'm scared to, like, lose a character, but he's still going to die under, you know, red or whatever. So.
Yeah, but usually the AI is not that smart, and so I could see the advantage. I still keep being... if Rebirth tokens weren't so rare, I would have already pulled the trigger on that, but...
Yeah, me too.
Just to have
That's a really sharp tool to have in your tool
yeah,
set.
especially when you're trying to auto stuff. That's
yeah.
the advantage.
I don't know. The only thing I think it would maybe be a waste is because he's just already so good without needing to be Rebirth 5 that you could just probably leave him at 2 or 3 and then just use the rest on someone else.
Yeah, that's kind of why I haven't even felt like I needed to do it yet, but
I have met one.
It's just overkill in my mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't make him any less squishy.
Yeah. It's Cyborg 3. Like, you're never going to need that much damage.
Yeah.
Except for raids.
All right, moving on. Let's get to May. This was a less exciting month overall, except one character I really like. The freebie was Silver Banshee. The paywall was Gorilla Grodd.
What are you talking
Oh
about?
wait, I'm in 18. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like,
Holy jeez, dude.
Well, I was like, what the
Alright.
hell?
Whoa, Gorilla Grodd sounds like a
I
good
was like, man,
character.
I was like, I didn't remember them being this most recent. I was like, didn't Silver Banshee just get reworked? Okay, so May was Jay Garrick, Alan Scott was the paywall. The reworks were Flash and Hal Jordan. This was a very solid month, with arguably except for Jay, who under Lex, I'm finding new life with him.
I
But-
think that we
I
have
would
to make
also
a new
argue that
category.
Well,
Jay's passive might be really good now with Lex being around.
No.
No,
No.
unfortunately. I mean, it's improved, but he can't eat enough turn meter.
Yeah, don't give me the satisfaction of being right on this one. Like, it's, even I can admit Jay's passive is better, but it's not good.
I don't know.
Jay's terrible. Lex just does very special things in this game right now.
Well,
He can take almost any character and make them usable.
well, the
So-
problem is Jay. Well, where Jay's good is he is fast and he's a physical fast character. He's one of the fastest physicals, so he's able and he buffs on 2 of his moves. Well, he has a 50% chance on his basic, but he buffs on his AoE ability, so that's extremely useful under Lex. And then he will eat some meter, so it does help a little bit. But like Doom was saying, it's not enough. I think he's one of those characters that they reworked him and then just went to town, because we actually need a character that can just chomp down meter like a madman. And I think Jay would be the perfect character for that.
All they'd have to do is make it 100% chance, and he's golden.
Exactly. It wouldn't take much. I think it would be really fun. And then
Yeah.
improve his art.
Overall, solid month, though.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the month. Let's get into.
How? Oh my God, that mother frippin'.
Yeah, I mean
I
Hal
hate
owned the
that Hal
meta
Jordan
until this
rework.
month.
God, I hate it.
I mean, and he's still fantastic. I mean, his rework was just unbelievable.
He's awesome.
I mean, still is awesome. I don't see him. I mean, he's going to take a backseat to Lex for a while, especially because you can punch up so much easier. But he's going
I
to
think
be
people are just having fun right now.
that.
But Hal
What a
shuts
con-
I
every
don't think
debuff
Hal's
off.
ever going to be away.
No, I mean the last year I would say, because he had viability through the entire game up until the last year, and then now he's back again.
That's debatable to some degree. He really took a hit once Wonder Girl came out. Of course, like 90% of the cast did, but,
Yeah,
you know.
he was still usable though. He wasn't ever relegated completely to the bench.
Yeah.
Well,
Earlier
originally his hammer was can't miss, and then for some reason they fixed the bug or nerfed him, whatever you want to say, and then he became not as good as an option. And then when they made it can't miss again, Harley just disappeared from the meta.
Well, I think that was the problem. Is I think that game developers really like Harley Quinn MJ because they did everything in their power to keep her viable. They reworked her to be amazing forever. Then when she started losing steam, they gave her Wonder Girl to protect her. And then like now she's been pushed to the bench, but I'm just waiting for her to get like damage immunity or something soon. So it's,
Well, Harley is really good under Wonder Girl and Hal instead of Batgirl now.
yeah.
So that's
Harley's
the thing.
really good under Lex, too.
Oh, I've been using her under Lex because you don't have anti-evasion if you want to run Lex. So she's starting to make a little bit of a comeback. They'll find a way to bring her back. I'm confident in that. And then we had Flash, who was awesome
God.
rework. Love his rework,
Flash is great.
especially with Lex. I mean, he's just obscene. And then we also had Alan Scott, who's another amazing character.
Yeah, Alan Scott's good. Really good.
He's one of the characters I don't have. Well, I do now because of the sale, but I didn't before, so.
He's cool. He's fun. He's just a really good character. With Lantern Month being next month, he's probably going to even be better again. So we'll see.
You know, the funny thing is that if you were crazy enough to buy the little $25 packs to L1, he carried you through that siege.
You mean
Yeah,
like
boy.
the boy?
That's what I'm saying. It takes no skill to use. Just boom, spam his basic. He'll just one-shot everything.
Yeah, pretty much. And he does the strength downs, which is very useful.
Yep. And the shielding. A whole team.
Yeah, I
God,
mean, just solid character all the way around. All right,
definitely.
move.
Honestly, I look forward to him and St. Walker. It's going to be interesting to see all those shield just popping out of everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on to June. This month had a little bit, but not as good of a month in my opinion. We had Mr. Miracle. I'm not excited about him at all. We had Big Barda, who was very good.
Woo!
She taking a little bit of a back seat with all the special damage that's going crazy. Then we had Ares, pretty solid rework, and then we had Steppenwolf, who didn't need a rework and didn't really change. So, Ogre, I'll start with you. Did you play this month? I think this was a month you may have missed. All right, moving on to Loot. Loot, did you play this month?
Yeah, I played this month. Miracle's terrible. Ares, I still don't like, even with his rework. I'm not a fan at all. Steppenwolf is really awesome. They made him. I mean, they did change a few things on him that I wasn't thrilled about. Like his basic does less damage, but overall, I think that he is improved. But he didn't even need the rework. He was already good. And Bard is awesome, but right now you have to be so careful because Wonder Girl is back and she's big and she's bad and she murders everyone and Barda triggers her. I don't even want to bring her into any fight. And Wonder Girl's everywhere.
Yeah,
And I think
those sales.
I think they silently increased her whip because I am getting whipped to death constantly.
Yeah,
Either there's a bug or they did it by accident or they did it on purpose. But she is in whip mode.
I think most of that's just people have her stronger because of all the sales.
Could be. She is just whipping like crazy.
And we're
So
all running
Barda's
Lex.
amazing, but like she needs to not be in my fights right now. So she's going to chill. She's RB2. She's awesome, but she's not allowed to play on my teams.
Doombox, what are your thoughts on these characters?
So I'm going to be honest. I have a thing for big woman. Big Barda is probably up there in my top 3 favorite characters, I gotta say, just because she's just so obnoxious. But I agree, Wonder Girl has been going crazy, whipping everything in sight. So that's why I run Giganta. But, if I had the choice to it, if they just installed 2 more giant women, I would just never take her off my team. Right now, though, she's good. Plenty of stuns. Lots of just annoying buffs. The only downside is you have to work around by putting her on with some kind of reviver. I've been running her with Swamp Thing, and that's usually pretty obnoxious and pretty huge, especially when you run her, Swamp Thing, and Lex, because then everyone pops up and everyone's just right back at full health again. The only problem is Wonder Girl just is like, oh, perfect. I guess I'll just whip them all down again. So, tis what tis. But what's the other... freaking Ares is Ares, whatever. Steppenwolf, I've never cared about Steppenwolf, but Steppenwolf seems like he's pretty decent with one of the more recent characters that is coming out. So, all that good stuff. And Mr. Miracle, what does he even do?
Nothing.
Exactly. Like, who cares about this
He
man?
does nothing. He's in the trash tier.
Exactly. I'm going to save you guys the rant on Etrigan that I had planned for this, so I'll just, I'll pick it up later. But, yeah.
Ogre,
So
are
I
you
will
back?
say, Mr. Miracle, not too shabby with Lex. No one's shabby with Lex. Mr. Miracle is actually pretty decent with him. But that's...
I haven't tested him with him yet. I need to do that, but I'd still be surprised. I mean, he makes everybody halfway decent, but the true test is can Lex make Mr. Miracle, or if the Lex can't make your character good, then nobody can.
Yeah.
Kind of my opinion on them. Ogre, I had to mute you. You have to unmute yourself. I don't know if you're back yet. I'll take that as a no.
Loot has to bounce in a couple minutes anyway.
Okay. Well, we're only to
Is that
July.
better?
Now we hear you. I muted you earlier when you were.
Yeah,
Okay.
I threw my headphones down and was dealing with my daughter,
Okay.
so
No problem.
sorry.
But I can't unmute you once I mute you, so you have to
That's
unmute yourself.
fine. Like it didn't matter because I didn't have anything to say for these 2 months anyway, because that's the time I missed.
Okay, no problem. Moving on, we'll move to July. We have Stripe, who was the freebie, Stargirl, who was the paywall, Superboy, who was the rework, and the other rework was White Lantern Sinestro. Saying a pretty solid month overall. I really like Stripe more than most. I think he's a fun character. Really, really like him under Lex because of all the overheal. You start off overhealed, so he gets a lot of his kit going early. He's not super great, but he's still a pretty solid character. He's beefy physical character, which a lot of the physical characters die easier than others. So he's rare in that regard. And once he gets rolling, he can really steamroll. Stargirl, I wish there was. She's one of those characters I really wish if she was just had more health, she could be a really good character. Superboy, fantastic rework. White Lantern Sinestro, pretty solid rework. He was fun for a little while. We'll start with you, Ogre. Did you have any of these characters, or was this a month you don't have much to say?
No, Stripe was a lot of fun because I actually started a baby account and was playing with him. He was a lot of fun.
He's really good early
'Cause
game.
he filled in on the Enchantress, style of play. Everybody wants to be overhealed, so you got Enchantress and Bane and Swamp Thing, and it was really cool and really fun to play with him because he's just another big tanky cog for that. So, and Lex obviously puts him into that overheal to get him rolling if that's what you want to do. So,
Yeah.
other than that, the others like Superboy seems great. I still don't use him. And then same with Sinestro. Seems fine, but I still don't use him. I really don't have any problems facing him either. So I mean,
Loot, what are your thoughts on these characters? I know you liked Superboy a lot.
Superboy I really like. And I still use him. I actually use him a lot. Whenever Harley Quinn's out there or an evasion comp, I usually bring him. He even can take a whip, too. He can get whipped a little bit and still live. So that's a plus. He's definitely tanky, which is, again, great with Wonder Girl out there. So I really like Superboy. I think he's solid. White Lantern Sinestro, he's good. I just don't use him. I don't know. I just don't do it. I don't know why I don't use him. I just don't. But he's not bad. I just have other choices. And then Stripe, he's okay. I don't love him, but I haven't tried him under Lex. So I really like what you said about how him and Lex have good synergies. So I'm going to give that a shot. But without Lex, I'm just not a fan. And he's not bad. I just personally don't like him. Stargirl, I think, is trash. Complete trash. She's terrible. And not only that, her artwork is terrible. You see her
I agree.
arms?
Her
They
arm.
look like, her arms are weird. She looks like Gumby.
Yeah.
She's like a gummy bear. Like, what the heck were they thinking?
Yeah, her weird arms creep me out. I
She's like elongated man got attacked and his arms are just waving on the ground.
Well, she is getting that DC Universe / CW, which it's going on DC Universe first, I found out. So it gives me hope that it won't be a horrible show. And it's going to
Did
start
you
on...
see the teaser? It was weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but she'll get what I'm looking at is she'll likely get a rework that month. So, and she has the potential to be a very good character.
If she gets a rework, I'll be really happy about it because I did level her all the way. But other than that, man, she's trash and she looks weird.
Doom, what are your thoughts on this month?
Okay, well, first things first, White Lantern Sinestro, of course, is a victim of the star system. Let's be honest, otherwise, you would be a god, but because you lose stars when your characters die and don't get to keep them if they're all up at the end, He's so good at cheesing things out. Like, if you put him into a match with a team that's actually built around it, it's almost impossible to lose with him. But when he's contending with Lex, and you also lose stars for using him, ultimately, whatever.
Good point.
Stargirl, a.k.a. Wacky, a wavy inflatable two-bar man, is not too bad, but I don't know. I just don't like her. She's one of those characters I look at her and I'm just like, I don't get it. I feel like Hot Girl is better, which is weird to say, but whatever. S.T.R.I.P.E, a.k.a. Etrigan but good, isn't bad. I like him. He's big and beefy and has a cool suit of armor, honestly. What else do you really need? But his kit's actually surprisingly cohesive with Lex. I do have to admit, you guys are right on that one.
Superboy.
Yeah. Really don't have any opinion on the fourth one, so that's that.
Kage, I know you're a big Superboy fan.
Dude, this guy's annoying. If your strategy still relies on that archaic Red Robin Deadshot team, Superboy's gonna be annoying for you. But I don't know. He's still a good character. Really annoying to fight because he's on defense. He crits you for like 24,000 damage, but when you use him or when I use him, it's like
4,000.
he does like 5. Yeah, right. So that makes me mad. That's why I don't use him as much. But he's a really good character. He got that much deserved rework. White Lantern, I like to cheese him out with Barda and Larfleeze and Mary Marvel. I think that's a really good comp. Shout out to whoever made that comp. But yeah, I wish they'd fix the star system and he'd see viability. Well, he's viable. He'd just see more playtime. No opinion on Stripe. He's a good character. Stargirl I like more than most people. I think if they reworked a couple of things on her kit, she'd be a really good character. But I'm not gonna fight
My
her
only
being a
complaint with her
C-tier
is just
character.
her survivability. She's so squishy. She
I just think
dies
she's
so-
really. I just think her passes are really inconsistent. Sometimes she'll convert the strength down, sometimes she won't.
Yeah.
And Power Girl gains like 1,000,000 strength ups on her turn. So it's just after her turn that she gets neutered. So that, I don't know. I don't know how they fix that, but yeah, that's all I got.
All right, moving on to August. We had Captain Atom as the freebie. We had Booster Gold as the paywall. We had Firestorm as a rework, and we had Reverse Flash as a rework. It's funny because we're both Reverse Flash and Firestorm. I thought the reworks were pretty average at best, borderline crap. But with Lex, both of those characters have had a renaissance, and they're two of the best characters with Lex, I would say. Especially Firestorm. He is murder on wheels with Firestorm or with Lex. And then the paywall Booster Gold. I think he's the best physical character in the game. I love Booster Gold. I think he does so much. He does so much damage. He does purging. He's got shields. He's got defense. He's got everything you could possibly want in a character. And Captain Atom's a solid character. It's funny because I've been facing him a lot more lately, and I think if he was highly rebirthed, he'd be a really good character. But it looks like, did Luke have to go?
Yeah, he had to go pick up his kid.
Oh, okay. So he just disappeared. And I know he will say Booster Gold is amazing. So, Ogre, we'll start with you this time.
Yeah. I mean, I came back like most of the way through this month because I'm like, oh, disease sounds cool. Got my Captain Atom Dell too. I'm like, all right, well, that's kind of cool. Let me see what happens in the next couple months. I haven't really used him. Booster Gold, I got to L1. Again, I haven't really used him a whole lot. I mean, Firestorm and Reverse Flash. I love the Flash family, so I like the characters, but I don't use them, so I have nothing really to say or contribute on this one.
Doombox, how about you?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
You're Doombox, right?
no, I am. I'm just composing my thoughts about how I'm finally correct that Firestorm is better than Starfire.
Only
I'm soaking it
under
in.
Lex.
I need to put it in my veins directly.
I will concede that
That Doombox is right juice. I love it.
I will concede that I think Firestorm's a little bit better than Starfire under Lex only.
You know what? I'm gonna frame that on my wall. Just hearing you say that, so good. But
New coffee mug?
oh, dude, if you could put that on a coffee mug, just Doombox was right. I'll take it. I'll buy 50. But in terms of Reverse Flash, honestly, I agree with you. Under Lex, it feels weird that everything is under the context of Under Lex now or against Wonder Girl, but whatever.
Yeah, that's where we
Under
are today.
Lex, absolute god. Firestorm, Under Lex, beyond a god. And then we had Booster Gold. I regret with every fiber of my being not investing everything into him, but budgets. And then
Yeah, because he's your poster child, isn't he?
Yeah, you love
He
Booster Gold. I
is.
couldn't believe you didn't go
Dude.
ham on him.
I love Booster Gold. He's, in terms of actual DC characters, he's my third favorite behind Elongated Man and The Flash. So,
Man, I stole your thunder with
You know.
RB5 Flash and RB2 Booster Gold.
it's okay. That just means that I have a good taste in characters. I accept that as a compliment. Thanks. And then it was, who was the other one?
Captain Atom.
Oh, yeah, right.
The
I forgot about that
the
guy.
birth of disease.
Because how could you not forget
Captain
about
Canada?
that guy?
His kid is
So-
boring.
Captain Atom, I will say, gave us the beautiful gift that is disease, which is a really weird thing to say out of context. But, you know, he's a character that I just don't understand what they were going for. And now that there's more or another disease character, I still don't know what they were going for. So I think it might be a flop. But, you know, whatever. Damage.
I do like the
Business round does
strength and
nothing.
intelligence downs that he does on his AoE, and he does good damage. He's one of those characters I think highly rebirthed he would be pretty good because he gives him that survivability he needs. But we need more disease.
He just needs his kit either retooled or more disease characters for him to like get that out of turn attack.
Yeah. Because that out of
So
turn attack
that's,
hurts.
you know, I don't know. I don't really think we need more disease characters to the degree that it would make Captain Atom work. So that's just me, though. Disease is stupid strong.
It is.
It is.
It is really
I'd
strong.
like to see a couple more. Just we don't need a ton, but give us a little bit more variety with it.
The miss on his kit though is that they put the disease on his nuke attack.
Yeah, that was if they would have given it either to the basic or the AoE, he would be fantastic.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they rework Chemo to make his AoE apply disease, like a permanent disease, Captain Atom just
Oh
boom,
yeah,
instantly
definitely.
viable.
Yeah, that don't give him ideas. That's a
Don't
scary
tease me.
thought.
Everybody's been saying that makes the most sense.
Don't tease me.
I think yeah, Kimo he would be terrifying with disease.
Yeah, don't tease me. I want it.
I think Kimo should have both bleed and disease. He should be the one character that crosses borders.
He should. He should be the tie that binds.
Because then you could run like a Red Hood, Man Bat, or Captain Atom combo team and have both going, and that would be fun and
Well, like,
crazy.
here's one for you. What about like Constantine Chemo IV Man Bat?
You know what Kimo should do? He should convert bleed into disease.
Yeah.
That
That-
would be
that
With
would-
the Fallout.
Oh my
He applies
god.
the speed downs, turn meter downs, and turns all bleeds into disease.
Maybe not all. Maybe 5.
Turns all bleeds into permanent diseases.
That would be
Terrible
so
Black
scary.
Manta.
Oh God.
I just Red Hood. That's all you need. Just do the AoE, and then boom, you got the all
8
disease.
million bleeds turned into disease that day, and my team disintegrated.
Anyway, this month was kind of a bleh. Let's move on to next month. Oh, you know what? Booster
We're
Gold.
already
I think-
talking about Man Bat, so I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, Booster Gold was a show. He slowed down the Lex train. That's about it.
Well, I love
all I gotta
Booster
say.
Gold because he was my Wonder Girl answer. My immediate and only real Wonder Girl answer. Next, like you said, next month we had Man Bat, who brought disease to the forefront. Talia al Ghul, who was the paywall. We had Suicide Squad Deadshot reworked and Killer Croc reworked. Pretty solid month overall. Man Bat was the star of this show. Great character. Slowed down a little bit recently. Talia al Ghul, I really liked her. I really wanted her. I thought that she had the potential to be a high tier character, but her kit's a little too all over the place. I mean, she's solid. Suicide Squad Deadshot, I really like. I still really like. It's just he's just outshined by other characters. But that Retaliation's great. The bleeds are great. Now, you know what? I really need to start using him more because now that Hal's kind of out of the picture, they're not as prominent anyway. He might see a little bit of life. Killer Croc, I don't know about him. He still does nothing for me. He just sits there. He's like
His kid's weird anyway.
he's
No,
like
man,
Bane.
I've got a
He doesn't do
got a
anything for
hot
me.
take on Killer Croc.
All right, what's your hot take?
Next month, he's gonna be stupid good.
Well,
Deadshot. Suicide Squad Deadshot. He's scary to fight. I'll tell you that. You touch him, you bleed. You get a basic blast on you. Talia, I really like her art. She's
I
got
love
really
her
good
art.
assets. Uh, I think if they reworked her just a little bit, I think she'd be stupid good.
she has the potential, yeah. She's good.
Man-Bat, I hate him. Don't care for him. He's a good character. I've never had problems with dealing with him. I just think he's boring.
He's good. I mean, we have Larfleeze deals with him fine. Cyborg Superman, which we'll talk about shortly, dealt with him great, and then now Lex just nukes him. So he's really not a problem.
Doom, you got any take on this month or
Oh, of
not?
course I got to take on this. Are you kidding me?
All right.
Man-Bat, Destroyer of Worlds, and you think I don't have a take on this, man? Of course I got a take on this, man. Dude, slap that man in the composition. Get yourself a Constantine, get yourself a Riddler, and get yourself some kind of green that gives you some kind of turn meter, and then just devour any team that has Donna Troy on it free of charge. There is no question in my mind that Man-Bat is completely busted against 99% of people. Like Power Girl, don't even get me started on her. There's no chance that she survives. All she does is kill her own team, and it's hilarious to watch because it's just like, oh man, it's my turn. I finally get to punch that mean old bat in the face. Guys, where'd you go? Because everyone's dead. It's like, you know when you bite into an apple, it's just like that really fresh bite. It's really crispy. That's what I feel like every time I see Man-Bat bite anybody. It's
See, when I use
That's it.
Man-Bat, it's like taking a bite into an apple and finding a rotten core because my diseases don't spread. And then
my diseases don't need to spread. I stack like 800 of them on one person.
Yeah, see, they fall off after very quickly, and then nobody takes any damage. And then Wonder Girl passively purges it off. So my Man-Bat does nothing. When I face him, he's fantastic, but when I use him, he does not. I never am impressed. I watch other people's videos. He does great things. When I use him, nothing.
Dude,
he's
Constantine,
so much.
Constantine Man-Bat cheese. My God, it's scary. If there's a team I can't beat, I just say okay, run Constantine and Man-Bat. Boom, melt their team away.
Easy peasy, dude. It's fresh cheesy. I love it. As far as the other ones, Talia al Ghul is okay. It's whatever. She might be better later on, but who knows? And yeah, I just really don't care about anyone else. Man-Bat is the star of that month easily.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. November, we had Ravager, Connor Kent.
Are we going to talk about October at all, or no?
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about October.
Do we have to?
Do we have to? Exactly.
I mean, that's what I figured. Is like nobody really wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it.
And
There's
that's
one
fine.
decent. The reworks are okay. So we had the freebie was Spectre, the paywall was Eclipso, which I did win Siege this month, so it was exciting for that front. But then we had the rework of Cyborg Superman and the rework of Silver Banshee. Spectre.
Oh, good.
Yeah, terrible character.
I think it was funny. Everyone was riding over Spectre for a good week, and the devs were like, "All right, we'll fix one thing for you, and then you guys can shut up."
Yeah, and he's still not great. He's only good under Lex, which that's the only redeeming quality he has. And he's halfway decent against Lex since he does the AoE heal immune. But Then Eclipso. Eclipso's not a bad character. It's just he's evasion. He's Harley Quinn blue, so it's nothing to get too excited over.
He
Cyber
just doesn't do
Superman,
as much damage as Harley Quinn, though. He's not devastating.
but he does more evasion down. So he makes it so it's hard. My Eclipso actually dodges. So unlike MJ, who never ever dodges, which you saw that video I posted not too long ago where she didn't dodge a single attack, like 7 attacks in a row, and nobody had any hit chance up or anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Eclipso will dodge for me, so I think he's okay. And then Cyborg Superman, he was a pretty solid rework. He's a little boring, but he's a solid character. I mean, he's got survivability, does great damage, he can purge. So,
One-shots reds.
One-shots
He's
reds.
great. Silver Banshee, she got that needed rework. She's more consistent now.
Yeah, and
She's really good.
yeah, I do like Silver Banshee a lot. So not a bad month. Doom, any hot takes? Or
Of course not. Like, what is there even to say? Eclipso's boring and dumb.
yeah,
Spectre's boring and useless.
yeah.
So,
The only person-
Etrigan all over again.
Yeah, the only person that likes Banshee is Ogre, and the only person that likes Cyborg Superman is DP, who's not even here. So why are we wasting our time on this month? Let's just go to the next one. We got to get to Lex.
All
We
right.
Alright.
talk about Lex.
November.
November.
Let's go.
We had Ravager, who was the freebie, which we thought was going to be an OP character, but she unfortunately did not quite hit the mark.
I think she still has potential.
She's okay.
She just needs another enabler somehow.
I
Yeah,
feel like if she had a different kit, maybe something a little tankier, she would be better.
yeah, maybe.
Whoa, bro.
Whatever.
Then we had Connor Kent, who was the paywall. I've warmed up to him a lot, surprisingly. Then we had, which I hated him at first. Then we had the reworks. The reworks were really good this month. We had Red Hood, who went from being a very good character to amazing, and then we had Beast Boy, who went from being absolute trash to I personally love him and considering taking him to Rebirth 5. So this month.
Beast Boy's event is coming. I plan on taking him to at least like RB2.
Well, I'm gonna get the shards to RB5. I don't have any crystals to rebirth anything, but I'm gonna take his shards to RB5, and then he's gonna sit on my bench and contemplate stew like I did for 6 months with Flash. Red Hood is I love him. He's just
Red Hood is nuts.
He's lethal.
Kage.
He's
Let's start
scary
with
to
you for the
fight.
month.
I love Red Hood. I've always liked the character, but now that he's more consistent with his heal ability and bleeds, and they can't miss, and he like procs his 2 all the time and gains 1,000,000 meter.
He
He's
even procs for
stupid
me.
good.
Which is
Yeah.
fantastic.
I think there was one thing that they missed an opportunity for here
What?
on Red Hood. We didn't add the Titan tag.
Nah, he was never really Titan.
They could have added it.
Ravager, I think if they made her silencing more consistent, she'd be really good. But I don't, Doom, I'm not seeing why she needs to be a tank.
It's, just her kit naturally pretty much lends itself to being a tank. This isn't the place for this discussion. You're taking time away from my Lex.
Okay.
So let's not work.
Alright, Connor
Right.
Kent, really boring. I have used him twice this siege because some idiot brings Power Girl, so I bring Connor to neuter her, and he procs my Lex, and then I just nuke the whole team down. So I like that. That's all I gotta say about that month.
I like him on my stun team. I didn't think he would fit, but I actually take him over Booster in some occasions now. For whenever I decide to
Interesting.
run that team, because I need that second because I don't have an AOE buff remover. He's that second buff remover, and then he does have a stun, so he can. And he usually stuns at least one person when you do that AOE. So I mean, he's not bad. I find him useful, and then because since I'm opening with his 2, and I'm not bringing him 4 damage, he's usually got the strength ups to kill somebody when I need him to. So he's not bad. Doom, what were your thoughts on this month?
I like the fact that Red Hood got a bit more time in the sun. Honestly, I've always liked him as a character. I used to just run him on the stupid Black Adam cheese comps and just Those were good days. And then, Connor Kent's okay, I guess. I don't know. I never really cared much for him. Outside of that, the other two characters really, I don't know. I just have no interest in them really.
I love Beast Boy, and I know we've beaten this to death, but Beast Boy with Lex, he's one of those. Every move
Yeah,
does
I know,
buffs.
I know. I'm gonna probably farm him up in the event later and try him out, but I don't know. Affinity Defense Up is just such a dumb, gross buff.
Buff.
Doesn't do anything, so it's like,
Yeah, but he does it. He does his basics so often, and then it actually because he stacks so many of them, you actually notice a bit of a difference.
And then his basic actually will proc Lex, which I think this is a natural segue to talking about December.
let's talk about December.
Okay, let's move to December.
That's all anybody wants to hear about at this point. Like,
It's a Christmas miracle.
So this was December was really solid month. Owlman, not quite what I hoped for, but still pretty solid character. I like him a lot. I haven't used Ultraman yet, but from what I've seen, he looks like he's going to be very good. Then Joker, I think I'm going to give an A to because he's very good character. And Lex, obviously star of the show. We've talked about him and we'll continue to talk about him. But now we have Doom on here, so we'll save Doom for last. So
Okay.
Ogre, what are your thoughts of this month? Because I know this month you've played a lot.
yeah, no, Lex brought me fun in PvP for a change. Between Red Hood and Lex, I've been having fun in PvP, which I hate PvP, and everybody knows this. So, like, between those two, I'm having fun, and that's really nice to be able to have fun. Looking forward to eventually bringing up Joker. I've been kind of taking a step back on the bleed characters, so I'm looking forward to picking him up eventually. He seems like he's going to be really
You need to
cool.
do him. I mean, if Loot was still on here, he's RB2'd him. He's going to take him to RB3 soon. He likes him that much. I mean, he's a great character.
Yeah, like I said, he especially, like, again, part of that enrage mechanic we were talking about, Mr. Freeze, who's one of my favorite comic villains of all time. I really like the synergy there, so, I mean, I will eventually build up a Joker and put him to work. So,
Kage?
Joker's been a stud for me in Siege so far, but he's also been a nightmare.
Yeah.
Fighting enemy Joker, he retaliates with the intelligence down and the bleed, and neuters your Etrigan or Black Adam, or kills them outright. Man, it's just scary. That's a scary thought. Outside of that, in Wraith, he's really good on a bleed comp. I think you can just plug him into a comp, and he'll just do his thing. He enables his kit fine. You just got to protect him because he's squishy.
I think he's
Other
going to
than
see
that,
more work next month. I think.
oh yeah,
He's because with the intelligence-based characters, he synergizes so well. He synergizes great with Enrage. He synergizes great with Bleeds. So he works with a lot of different comps.
yeah, he's a good counter to like Cyborg Superman or Lex actually. Lex made half my roster usable again just because A, it kicked out Hal Jordan, so now I could run debuff characters, and B, I can make Jessica Cruz somewhat usable. And then, yeah, that's all I got with the month. I haven't used Ultraman yet, but I played against Ultraman a couple times. He's annoying. He's a good Lex counter.
What about Owlman? What are your thoughts on him?
I actually like him. Everyone was talking smack, but I started using him. I didn't see what the problem is. I think he's lacking in the damage department, but he makes your characters faster and hit harder. So, you gotta give him props for that.
All right, Doom, you're up.
All right. So Owlman, not bad. If his evasion down thing, or not his evasion down, what's it called? His
He
third
turns up.
program,
Oh,
the
that thingy?
the darkest night or whatever. Anyways, if that did slightly less damage but couldn't miss, it'd be amazing.
Oh yeah,
He'd be just
definitely.
top of the charts. Otherwise, decent buffing character, not too bad. Ultraman, no one's really put hands on him yet. He looks like he could be good on paper, but we've had tons of characters that could be good on paper before, and, well, you know how that ended out. And then Joker, great. I'm happy for him. It only took them, 7 different reworks to get him to be decent, so, cool. Glad he doesn't have disease, because that would be stupid. So all in all, happy about that. But let's talk about Lex. Let's bring in the main man really quick. So, Lex Luthor, Flex Luthor, Sex Luthor. You guys know the man. He is he's exactly what this game needed. If it were not for the fact that Wonder Girl existed and everyone had her at L5, there would be absolutely no competition on who the best character in the game would be at this point. Lex makes just about everyone viable. He works exceptionally well in Doom Patrol, to the point where I've straight up stopped running World's Greatest Detective Batman because there's just no point. Lex provides all the meter I could ever need. He takes every single character's move that does any kind of buffing to themselves or anyone and says, also, apply 2 intelligence up. Also, overheal. Also, add 10% meter. If a character just had that ability in general, they would be good. Like if someone had a button that said, apply 2 intelligence up, a big old fat chunk of overheal, and 10% turn meter to all allies, we would probably be sitting around talking about how that character's a pretty good character. But Lex just does it automatically. Like, this man doesn't even need to go to work anymore. This man sits at home and spends his pension. He is not a 9-to-5 character. I will be honest. I'm all about using honest characters. This man is not an honest character. Like,
He's pretty busted, yeah.
he is not pretty busted. He's absolutely busted. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't think that much intelligence game would do that much for him. But the fact that he's just running around one-shotting anything that doesn't resist it is just completely insane. They got rid of his gates. He basically heals himself up entirely in one move. The only chance you even have is to pray that there's not 1 or 2 taunts in your way. And even then, there's going to be 1 or 2 taunts in your way. If you're bringing Wonder Girl, great. But if your Wonder Girl dies, you just lose the match. That's the end of it. See, that's why I run Giganta. Not only does she just buff every turn when paired with Donna Troy, but she completely one-shots Wonder Girl the moment she gets her hands on her. So, if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I've got no girl problems, but Lex ain't one. So that's, Lex is pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you here. Lex, absolutely, 100%. Anyone who has ever put disrespect on this man's name needs to apologize.
I remember you came on the podcast earlier this year, and you're like, Lex is so good. You're a fool for putting him at bottom 10.
Yeah, you know what? And I was right. He was good then. Now he's just better. But, man,
But the
I didn't
conspiracy
expect him
theory
to be
floating
this
around
good.
Reddit is that they found our tier list, and that they've noticed that the last couple reworks have started to appear from this list, and also that sales have revolved around our list. So you might want to thank us for putting them at the bottom.
No, I don't need to thank you guys for nothing. I got my Assault Warsuit Lex at the beginning of the year for my birthday, and now I'm getting Sex Luthor for Christmas. This is all just a gift from WB to me for all the times that they have wronged me.
I was going to say, that was a nice bookend on the year. We got Flex Luthor in January and Sexy Luthor on the end of the year to bookend it all together. So this year was presented by LexCorp.
It really was.
That's right.
Our podcast is sponsored by LexCorp, by the way. Please buy their native products.
Hashtag LexCorp. Hashtag sponsored product.
I'm gonna put that on our intro graphic. Sponsored by LexCorp. My only fear with Lex is we're only 15 days into his rework, or a couple extra because they do them a little early in the month. Is that I I feel like the Lex train is just going to continue to roll on, and I don't see it stopping for a long time.
Good.
But okay? So the question I have is this: is that a bad
Not
thing
necessarily.
if he's causing this much diversity?
No, I mean I do like the fact that I don't see the same Lex team over and over and over. So that's what makes it okay.
Something I'm seeing at the top of Siege is people are running the same comps. Obviously, you want to run bonus characters. I mean, that's fine. But M4 pointed out the other day that with Lex teams, speed matters. So whoever gets a turn first, usually they have the advantage. So
Yeah.
in a Lex mirror comp, if they're running Wally West, you got to run Wally West. Otherwise, you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and then you're seeing that in Siege because you'll see Lex, Wally West, B12, and Brainiac. It started to crop up. So it was.
I mean,
Yeah, that's the only downside to it. It's the
no worries. All you gotta do is bring Jay Garrick. Easy peasy.
Right. I wish
He'll
that
eat all
worked.
that meter. Bring Kid
Oh, yeah.
Flash. He'll eat all the speed ups. Actually, Kid Flash is stupid good with Lex also.
Yeah,
Like,
Kid Flash.
I
is
heard
very
you
good with him.
talking about it, like, even before all this, and I was like, I don't know. But then I tried it, and I was like, oh no. Oh, no. This is too good.
Bolsey, Ocean Master, he runs, or the Ocean, not Ocean Master, the Ocean, he runs, he loves Kid Flash now. I think he's rebirthed them, I'm pretty sure. And he's running them with Lex nonstop.
You see, this is what I like about Lex, because he just bought stock in everything and just made everything better. Star Labs, owned by LexCorp. The Ocean, owned by LexCorp. The Moon, soon.
Well, he was the president of the world, wasn't he?
Yes. He's president of the universe now. He's got lanterns in tow. Like, this man is making moves. Like, his suit is green, and so is his wallet. Like, let's be real here. This man's packing stacks and then purging buffs, and there's not a single damn thing anyone can do about it. Sorry, S4. You can bleep that out.
If you smell what the Lex enables.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Lex walks up to Power Girl, and he's like, oh, what do you think about taunting up and blocking all these attacks? She's like, well, I'm thinking. Lex is like, nobody cares what you think, and then hits her with buff immunity.
Jeez.
All right, guys.
Like,
Well,
no
I think
joke.
that's a good ending to our 1 hour and
there's
13
more.
minute podcast.
No.
Oh, there's more.
15-minute rant about Lex and how good he is.
Yes, dude, no joke. He just slaps someone with a space beam and then watches your goons gang up on him. It's so good.
He is absurd. He doesn't have a single bad. There isn't a single bad thing to his kit.
Exactly.
Like, his kit was really cool from the beginning of the game. That's the thing. Like, they didn't change his kit at all. They just adjusted it to modern power.
Exactly. Which
Man.
I mean, and that's what
They
gives
didn't
me
even
hope.
give him a new passive.
That's what gives me
Like-
hope for characters, other characters that have great kits. They just don't do everything. Like Grodd has a great kit, but he's terrible.
Well, he's trying to go too many different directions with, like, his damage typing.
Yeah, even Lex can't make Grodd good. That's when you know he's bad.
I disagree, because Grodd giving those speed ups plus Lex speed ups, the other two characters on your team are literally just going to take all the turns. But, I mean,
I still
can
feel
do that
like
a
he's
lot of
dead
different
weight.
ways.
I mean, you could do it with everybody else.
you can do it a lot of different ways, like I said. So, I mean,
I think that'd be just kind of redundant.
You know what? It's a good thing they removed the gate on Lex's skill 3. Because this man straight up silenced all the haters and all the doubters. It's the truth. So,
enables Ravager while he's
let's
active.
end it off, yeah?
All right.
All right, guys. That
Gonna wrap
was
this up.
2019 for DC Legends. Hopefully 2020 is just as good, if not better. Maybe some, give us some extra content. That would be great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We'll have a New Year episode. We got like 19 other episodes to record.
Oh.
Hey everyone, it's Tootitron. Thanks for listening to WROL Broadcasts. If you like the show, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/WROL Broadcasts. So apparently, DP over here is popping a squat in his parents' basement. Now, DP, I know you just came from some foreign land and everything, but here in North America, living in your parents' basement is unacceptable behavior. That's why I live in my parents' upstairs bedroom. Get on my level, bro.
Hello, I'm Kitty Little, leader of Shinsegawa Red Alliance in DC Legends. You know what really gets me hot and heavy for raids? A warm cup of coffee out of my Kage After Dark cup wrapped in my WROL Broadcast sweater. Just go to teespring.com/stars/WROL Broadcast or check the show notes to get your awesome DC Legends swag.